Heroes and History, First Ladies of the United States. Read to you by Carol Brigham. When a president is elected, his wife becomes the First Lady. Sometimes a sister, daughter, niece, or friend may act as First Lady. The First Lady's job is difficult. She receives no pay. Everyone expects her to be a role model. She has no privacy. She manages the White House staff. She chooses furniture and art for the rooms, plans parties, and greets guests. She goes to political events with the president. Sometimes she goes to events in place of the president. There have been 53 First Ladies in U.S. history. The early First Ladies stayed out of the public eye. They did not have any special national projects. Early First Ladies. In 1789, Martha Washington, wife of first President George Washington, became the very first First Lady. She was called Lady Washington. She helped the president by acting as hostess for his guests. Abigail Adams was the first First Lady to live in the White House in Washington, D.C. She wrote many letters to her husband, President John Adams, during their marriage. She believed women were equal to men. She wrote about these beliefs to the founding fathers. She was also mother of the fifth president, John Quincy Adams. Dolly Madison was a First Lady for 2 presidents. She acted as hostess for White House events when Thomas Jefferson's wife died. Then she became an official First Lady when her husband, James Madison, was elected president. During the War of 1812, British soldiers came to Washington to burn down the White House. Dolly Madison saved a painting of George Washington before she fled to safety. First Ladies as activists. In the 1900s, First Ladies were more active in public. They helped with their husbands' campaigns. Since the mid-1930s, First Ladies have chosen special projects to work on. They hired their own assistants to help them. These projects have helped the White House, Washington, D.C., and the country. Carolyn Harrison was married to President Benjamin Harrison. She helped raise money for Johns Hopkins University. She gave the money only if the university let women go to classes. They did. Helen Taft helped her husband, William Howard Taft, become president. While she was First Lady, she planned a park along the Potomac River. The Japanese government sent her 3,000 cherry trees for the park. People still visit Washington, D.C. in the spring to see these trees. Edith Wilson was President Woodrow Wilson's second wife. When he had a stroke, she kept his health problems a secret. She helped him make decisions for the country. Eleanor Roosevelt was a very active First Lady. Her husband, Franklin Roosevelt, was president during World War II and was elected 4 times. He had polio and was in a wheelchair. She visited many places around the world. She wanted all people to have equal rights. She became an American ambassador to the United Nations. She helped write the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Jacqueline Kennedy made the White House into a living museum. She redecorated rooms to look like they did when past presidents lived there. She was in an open car with her husband, President John F. Kennedy, when an assassin's bullet killed him. Lady Bird Johnson was married to President Lyndon Johnson. She worked to get laws for clean streets and highways. Congress passed a law against throwing trash on the roads. The law was nicknamed Lady Bird's Bill. Betty Ford was President Gerald Ford's wife. She had breast cancer during her term as First Lady. Breast cancer was something that people would never talk about. Betty Ford was the first to talk about it in public. She became addicted to alcohol and prescription drugs. After getting help, she talked about her addiction too. She started the Betty Ford Center to help other people with addictions. Rosalyn Carter was First Lady when her husband, Jimmy Carter, was president. She wanted people with mental illness to get better medical care. She wanted it to be okay for people to talk about mental health. Nancy Reagan was President Ronald Reagan's wife. She wanted children to stop using drugs. She helped the first school programs to teach children about the dangers of drugs. Barbara Bush was both wife and mother of presidents. During her husband, President George H.W. Bush's term, she helped pass the National Literacy Act. This act helped millions of American adults learn to read. She also founded the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy. Laura Bush, Barbara's daughter-in-law and wife of President George W. Bush, also chose reading as her project. She wanted parents to read to their children. She said reading to them would help them in school and life. She also wanted higher pay for teachers. Hillary Clinton was First Lady when her husband, Bill Clinton, was president. She was later elected senator from New York. She became Secretary of State. Finally, she later ran for president herself. Michelle Obama was First Lady for her husband, Barack Obama's 2 terms. She saw that childhood obesity was a national problem. She planted a vegetable garden at the White House. She asked school children to plant, pick, and eat the vegetables. She tried to get schools to provide healthier food and exercise programs for students. Melania Trump is the First Lady now. She is married to President Donald Trump. She is working with programs that help children be happy and healthy. She wants to stop cyberbullying and opioid drug abuse. Her plan is called Be Best. See Melania talk about her plan at www.whitehouse.gov/BeBest. When a woman is elected president, her husband may be called the First Gentleman.